You gotta explain this. There's a video with a slug. And
Oh
what is
my
that?
God!
You need to
I will never tell the internet like if I'm in like a relationship or not. Like, people have like parasocial relationships with people that they see online, and they're like a little bit too invested in like other people's lives, you know. And
Dude, side note, I think I just found the cure to depression.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm 24 years old. My username is Mochitoki. And fun fact, I actually came up with my username on accident. It was originally my Overwatch tag. I like doing voice acting. I love anime. And I'm very glad to be here. I'm the first guest. I'm super excited.
Yeah, nice. How does it feel to be here? Like this, I know you've known me for a while. Does it feel real to you that it's here?
A little bit. It's like half-half. It feels like a little bit surreal, but I know you and I'm very comfortable like being in this space already. So
Yeah.
cool.
So because for me, I always try to be in the moment and as present as possible. And sometimes I forget how much time I spent on this little spot. But honestly, the reason why I started this thing is to talk about the process, the creative process of things. And I know you're a creator, so let's talk about that. Like, what led you to want to become who you are today? Like, we could actually start off with maybe something that's happened in your past, or you're as a child, you know, you saw this or whatever. What influenced you?
Oh, I want to say my family, honestly. Like specifically my mom, dad, and my uncle. So my mom loved taking photos of me as a kid, and so did my dad. He loved like posing me, and my mom would always every year that like, you know how like you start elementary school and you work your way up to like high school and college. Every single year at the start of like the first day of school, she would always make me take a photo.
Dude, that is the trajectory for you right there. Because it's a lot of parents, they like to keep a record and like, here's a moment and then here's another moment, and they just want to savor those moments, I feel like. But so you being in front of the camera, were you like, oh yes, I gotta, you know, look good? And like, were you like genuinely happy to get the attention from your parents, like wanting to capture you like every moment possible? Or was it like something that brought you like some sort of joy, or like, oh, I really like being in the camera?
Half. I was a little bit of a brat. So I'm like an only child. And so of course all the focus is on me, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I'd get annoyed. I'd be like, no, mom, like I gotta go to school. Like stop, this is embarrassing. But other times I'd be like, all right. And they'd be like, ooh, who's this diva?
Yeah, I wonder why that is. Like as a kid, when your parents kind of give you the attention and they want to put the attention on you, you're like, no. But then when you're older, like for the kids that the parents kind of ignore, they're like, they want the attention. But the weird thing is like when some kids that have it, they don't want it. So do you think that's kind of like odd? Like, and I think that kind of affects you into like adulthood as well too. But going back to content creation, when was the first time you picked up the camera for yourself and you put the spotlight on yourself?
Ooh, I want to say middle school, actually. Like the earliest I can remember is middle school because that's when I got an iPad.
Oh, were you an iPad kid?
I started becoming an iPad kid. Actually, no, my parents didn't allow me to play any video games or have any technology until like high school and middle school-ish. I had like a Nintendo DS, but I had that like in middle school. Actually, no, sorry, 6th grade. But like I was only allowed to play it on the weekends, and I had a flip phone in middle school. I didn't really get like an actual phone, like an iPhone, till like first year of high school.
Did you start like texting your friends as soon as you got your phone, or were you kind of only using it for your parents?
I only used it for my parents because we had to pay back then to like send like texts and stuff.
Oh, that's true. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wow, dude, you're old.
No, for real. I had like a whole ass flip phone.
Yeah, for sure. So at what point were you like, okay, I got some technology and I'm like aware of the internet. When were you like, okay, I think I want to post something that's gonna make me a star? Did you ever think about that? Like, damn, one day maybe I'll be famous, or maybe, you know, I'll make a living off of this. Like, you ever think about that at all before? Or you just doing it for fun, huh?
I just did it for fun.
Yeah, I feel like that's how most artists or creators like start off. You kind of just do something for fun and then it just randomly picks up. right? Because that's how it was for me in dancing as well. Like I just did it for fun, and next thing you know, we're like doing TV stuff, making videos and whatnot. But then I was like, this is crazy, and you never expect it. Do you remember like the first time you ever opened a YouTube channel, or have you ever started a YouTube channel?
Oh my god, yeah. I think I started in middle school, but I remember watching YouTube when I was a kid, like a long time ago. I loved watching like My Chani.
Oh
He's
wow,
like a
wow.
big inspo.
So big inspiration. Let's talk about that. So which people other than him did you watch where you were like, I really like their content, I'm gonna make this content?
Oh my god.
There's so many.
Okay. Ryan Higa, Wong Fu,
Nice.
JK actually.
Nice.
A lot of
Yeah,
JK.
yeah.
My Chani, I loved him. I got a lot of inspo like early on because I started off doing like a lot of like Asian comedy content, which I still kind of do, but it was more so focused on like the Vietnamese niche because that's kind of what made me want to start TikTok. Because I started one day, I looked like I downloaded the app and I was like, there's not a lot of Asian content on here. Like let me try like doing it myself.
Dang, dude, Asian content, I feel like was the thing that started it all for a lot of our friends that are in this generation. Because for me, I watched JK as well when I was like in high school, which is crazy. But then I ended up meeting them and then working with them to the point where I'm like, you guys have influenced my entire life and career to the point where I'm now starting my own podcast and whatever. And I want to like kind of tell other people's stories too and just see how crazy connected we all are. That's like the weirdest thing to me, but also the coolest thing. A lot of my friends that are doing stuff, they kind of talk about like, whoa, you're working with these people, but I'm like, dude, you're gonna get there someday, because for you, your TikTok is like blowing up like crazy. So I can already see other young people look up to your stuff, and it's like kind of a cycle that's just gonna start repeating, right?
Yeah.
So at what point were you like, all right, TikTok's the thing now, not like nothing else matters, I'm just gonna make TikTok videos? Because I feel like that's your main thing.
It is, yeah. Well, I started in 2019, and I want to say around 2020, 2021 was when I started really like growing and becoming more immersed in like the community and like pumping out like a lot of videos. So I
Like what kind of videos? What was like the first thing you remember? Like were you like, oh man, this sucks, or this is cringe, or were you like, this is actually really cool and funny?
The first thing I ever did?
Yeah.
I think my first video ever might have been like a transformation video.
Oh.
Like a bare face to like an
like transitions?
Yeah, transitions, stuff like that. And then I was like, one day I was like, okay, send this to like your Viet friends. And I was like, this is how to say I love you. In reality, it was like, this is how.
What was it?
It was.
You called them fat?
No, no, tao đạp mày chết.
Oh, you're gonna beat them up. Nice.
Yeah.
Classic
Yeah.
violence. But yeah. No, that stuff's kind of funny. I like the fact that Vietnamese people never really had like a platform that was like so shareable. I mean, TikTok in general is like you could share stuff so easily, but before that, like I never felt so united to my people. You know what I mean? Like that was like the craziest thing I think that popped off. Like a lot of the jokes and a lot of the stereotypes that we would make fun of is like, wow, I didn't realize how many people could relate to this until TikTok came out with these like memes and like whatever. But yeah, I enjoyed some of the ones that you did too. The cultural ones are always fun, but that's another thing too. I feel like our creative process is heavily influenced by our culture as well. Do you think so? Because that kind of like is how you started too, you know? It's like if we weren't from this country, or if our parents weren't from this country and we were never like, we didn't have like a Vietnamese identity, I feel like our content would be massively different. How crazy is that? Like what do you think you would have made if you did not identify as a Vietnamese person, you think? Like what kind of content would you lean towards?
I still feel like at the end of the day, I would lean towards like comedy. I think I just really leaned into like the fact that I'm Vietnamese and I live in SoCal because that is a big part of my identity. You know, I actually grew up around a lot of Latinx and Hispanic people. Yeah. And then but I was like mainly surrounded by like my family members, you know, they're all Vietnamese. So
that's true. A lot of jokes get passed around just in the family in general, I feel like. Or not, I don't think they're like intentional jokes, but sometimes there's some funny stuff that happens at like family parties and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I see a lot of videos of people making fun of like you high, you know, like people like that are just drunk at a party or whatever. I think that's really funny. But then there's also like the Kevin Nguyen stereotypes, the ABG stereotypes, or what else is there? There's like a bunch of like identities within the whole like Viet culture, and I feel like you've definitely made some of those videos
Oh my
too.
god. Dude, I want to say that like I feel like I was one of the first people on the app to start like the ABG ABB trend, and it started like getting popular recently. Like I see a lot of like newer creators now basing a lot of their videos off of my old videos. I can tell.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what we're talking about, look for the video where like she's going on a date with like Kevin Nguyen, and like you guys are in a car, and then like he's trying to like, you know, get you to go to the back seat and all like.
You should come back here. It's much more comfortable.
I think my mom's calling me actually.
That's her video. That's hilarious. And then I saw other people kind of like recreating that too.
Yeah, I made those in like 2019, and like the one that really popped off was back in like 2021. Like even Keshi saw it and he liked it, and I was
that's
like,
so funny. Because then you were like, oh, let's listen to Keshi, right, or something like that. What was that joke? It's like
I was like, oh, do you want to listen to this like low key artist? Like you probably never heard of him, and then I put on Keshi on full blast. Can I play some music?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, he's a really low key artist. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Yeah, like he's really low key.
I think he's actually pretty well known.
oh yeah, you dressed as the guy, right?
Yeah.
That was so funny. But yeah, I remember seeing that. I was like, damn, this is clever, because it's like, yes, it is a stereotype, but it's so real.
It is
like
though.
it's like such a real experience that people go through, and I feel like a lot of people go through it. And I'll be guilty. Like I'm a guy that's Vietnamese that listens to Keshis, go to clubs. I fit that stereotype to some degree.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. It's so accurate. But then moving forward from that, you kind of like figured out a way to like move into other niches outside of the Vietnamese stuff. I think you were going into the more like meme type of culture. Okay, you got to explain this. There's a video with like a slug. And what is that?
God!
You need to explain that to me, because like I'm older. I don't get the memes. I'm not on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm very unplugged from that stuff. So you gotta explain to me what does that mean?
Okay, well, the video is like, is this a valid crash out? First of all,
What does that even
crashing
mean?
out?
Yeah.
It's like going ballistic, going insane. Like you're crying, you're throwing a fit, you're angry. You're basically expressing all of these like really high energy like emotions without really caring about like the repercussions. You know, like how people are gonna perceive you like as you're like doing this.
A lot of stuff that teenagers go through. Pretty much.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
oh my god! And, like they flip a table, like oh my god, mom! Like they punch a wall, stuff like that. That's like crashing out, you know.
Okay,
You don't
okay.
care about the consequences. Like oh my god, you're literally gonna have to like plaster that wall and like fix it now. But
Very relatable. Yeah. A lot
Okay.
of people. Yeah.
I think it's a valid crash out.
Yeah.
Personally, like I was just being me. Me and my friend were like talking. We were like trying to film a video. We're at like a Halloween party, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, after we stand up, we look at where we were sitting, and there was like a bunch of slugs, and I was like, oh, ew,
Oh, my
gross.
God.
Like I personally do not like bugs.
Oh,
and
I see.
Oh no.
So
I can't.
it was a crash out because of you guys were triggered by the slugs.
I was
oh
triggered.
my gosh.
She was laughing at me because I was like, ew, no. I was like, she started recording me, and I was like, I'm gonna cry. I literally hope like a slug did not crawl up my thighs and.
Dude, I feel like those slugs are like it's like symbolic for like all the men that try to like crawl into your lives that are like gross. I feel like that would give a same reaction too, huh? Like, because I know like when you were or if you are in the dating stuff, do you feel like there's like some sort of thing that just like triggers you the same way a slug would trigger you to crash out like that with like dudes?
So like my icks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Heavy on that. Yeah, I actually started like going on more dates this year.
Okay,
Yeah,
how does that?
I
how does
stopped.
that
I
feel?
deleted all my dating apps. I was like, we're done here.
Nice.
Actually, on one note, I will never tell the internet like if I'm in like a relationship or not. Like I feel like that's just something I would never disclose because that's like my private life. You know, that's very personal.
I like that. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm like half and half. I'll maybe give hints here and there whether I'm seeing someone or not. But overall, I like to keep them guessing, just cause I feel like they don't need to know that everything. Okay, so here's some like a really big topic with this podcast. I know we're creating content, but I feel like there's this invisible wall of like, here's the internet and then here's the real world. It's a
Yeah.
metaphorical like separation, right? Right now, the viewers, you guys are viewing this from the internet, but in our like circle and our little pond, we're talking about the real world. And I feel like in the real world, with your personal life and your private life, whatever you decide you want to do in that, I feel like it should not matter to the internet at all. But unfortunately, it does, right? Like, let's say like the way you go about dating, the way you go about your personal life and everything you do, you're going to make mistakes, like regardless, right? And in the real world, people like will forgive and forget, or they talk it out, or you have one-on-one conversations, right? But then as soon as any of that goes to the internet, you're like, everybody's either going to pile up on you or they're going to like have an opinion that doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of like how I see it right now. That's why like I want to take a moment to like whoever's listening to this right now, take a deep breath, look around you, be present, and that's the real world, okay? Not this. Like what you're seeing here is what we're experiencing, but it's not your reality, that's kind of the whole purpose of this podcast as well too, is to get people to like, snap out of the fantasy world of the internet and get back into your own skin, be present, experience the real world for what it is, then have your own opinions on that instead of like putting a comment on people's page where you don't even know who they really are. Because I feel like you experience a lot of that on TikTok. Like, am I not wrong?
Yo, you're so right. Oh my God. People are missing like so much context and they'll always make all of these like weird assumptions. So I love to make videos with like my friends and whatnot, right? I have a lot of guys and like girlfriends. But whenever like I do a video with one of my guy friends, people automatically assume I'm dating them. And I'm like, no, that's just my friend. Like we're making content together.
Yeah, why is that? Do you think it's because people perceive the image of a guy and a girl talking?
They must be dating.
Gotta be
Oh my God.
something, right?
Yeah.
Why are we so? Because I'm guilty of stuff like that too. Like, why are we so simple-minded when it comes to like the internet? Do you think like a part of us wants to like critically think and then a part of us doesn't want to critically think? Because it's just more fun to like gas somebody up and like, oh my God, like whatever.
I think it's people have like parasocial relationships with people that they see online and they're like a little bit too invested in like other people's lives, and I agree with what you say with you have to be present in like your own life. But a lot of people like kind of want to get lost in that fantasy where like they're unsatisfied with their own life, so they want to focus on other people's lives, be all up in other people's business. So I guess that's why.
Dude, side note, I think I just found the cure to depression. It's because, okay, it just came to me with as soon as you said a lot of people like to be like in parasocial relationships, they like to be invested in other people's lives. Maybe that's what's causing them to like feel a certain way about themselves, right? Either you're comparing yourself or you wish you were here or whatever, and then when you finally get off of the social medias and you come back to yourself, you're like, oh man, this is boring, or like you're not as happy or whatever, right? I feel like that causes a lot of depression, especially after like scrolling a bunch.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the cure is obviously don't do that. Like, don't be in a parasocial. You got to cut it off right now. That's the drug, I feel like.
I feel like the cure is actually touching grass. Like, I know it's like a whole meme and everything, but genuinely you need like sunlight in order to thrive and be happy.
Yeah. Dude, that's my mission. Okay, I'm going to make it my mission. So this podcast is to get you to go touch grass, do whatever it takes for you to get off of this. Like, I want you to be able to listen. This is actually probably really bad for like monetization. And like, to be real, like if we were trying to get ads, like we want people to listen, but at the same time, I don't want you to always be on your phone too. So it's kind of a weird struggle. Like we're all trying to make a living, but also we understand that it like affects people's mental health and all that. So how do you find like a good balance, right? So I think the balance lies within the actual content itself. Like when we're watching stuff, when we're learning stuff or we're absorbing information, what kind of information is actually going into your brain? Like, is it the type of where you're like, oh, she's dating this guy or whatever, and like whatever, or is it gonna be like, dang, I need to think about my life? Like what are you trying to put out? Because I know comedy has a very healing effect, because you could be going through some whatever struggles and then you pop up a video of you and it makes them laugh and it's like, okay, I'm done for the day. Like that's the kind of videos I like, because I'll be legit. I'll be on my phone when I wake up, and I'll be like scrolling, and then I find that one funny thing, or somebody sends me something funny, and I go, "All right, I'm out of bed." Like that's usually what gets me out because it snaps me back. You know, I'm like, "This is so ridiculous. I need to stop." Like that's typically what gets me out of there. But yeah,
I feel like that's what a lot of people say about like my content. Like in the comment section, they're like, "That's enough internet for the day." Like,
yeah. Maybe you want to be so extreme and so like out there that it just forces people off their phone. That's a pretty good tactic,
Yeah.
I feel like. So okay, so lately I know that your stuff's been blowing up for like the anime dubbed voices, right? So that's like kind of your bread and butter right now.
yeah.
Like
yeah.
explain.
Explain. Oh my god. All right, chat. So like one day, I was actually going to take graduation photos with my friend, right? But I was like, hold up. Before all of this, I need to film a TikTok really quickly. And I remember this. So I used to go to UCR, guys. So
Riverside.
Riverside. Oh, I never let people know that I went to like UCR just because I didn't want like people like.
You didn't want them to know how hard you partied, right?
No. Oh my god, no. I was a total like shut in. Like I would be at the library. I wouldn't really go to parties. You would never really catch me at one. But basically, I went to UCR, so I know what like an ABG is, you know, live that life. But basically, right before I went on my photo shoot, I was like, hey, help me film this TikTok. I've been meaning to film it, but I just need someone to help me, right? And so my friend starts filming it, and the idea was POV, you go on a date with a weeaboo. Because, you know, I do all those like dating videos, and I think they're hilarious because I draw a lot of my videos based off of personal experience or like what I see on the internet or what my friends have told me.
Yeah.
So
Relatability, for sure.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, let's film it. And then I was like going through like a bunch of voices, and then I was like, one of them just landed. It just stuck. And I just did it throughout the entire video, and that like blew up. And I was like, oh my God, like I never knew, well, I knew I could do the voice, but I didn't know that like people really liked it. Like I just never really like leaned into it. Cause this is my natural voice. People are like, is that her actual voice? Like people thought I was using like someone else's sound. I was like, no, that's my voice. Like I think I have a pretty
You
wide
sound
range.
like a little boy.
Yeah, people say I sound like Ash Ketchum, Tails.
Tails,
Yeah.
Ash. Who else do you sound like?
Oh my God. I don't know. Dub Deku, I guess. Something
Dubbed?
like-
Is that what he sounds like? I
I
never
don't
watched
know.
it.
Oh no,
in
he sounds
dub.
like more pathetic. He's like, oh, I'm musical Midoriya. Oh, my quirk.
That's pretty good. Dang, that's crazy. So, like, what made you like dig into that? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how did it just come out?
Okay,
Like,
okay.
That's crazy.
No. I have always wanted to do anime content. I just personally felt like I like locked myself in like a niche I couldn't get out of, and that's like part of like being a creator. It's like when you first start off, you kind of have to think of like, what do you want to do exactly? Like, what is going to be your main thing? Because like once you make that your thing, it's kind of hard to like get out of it. Like if you start doing makeup and you try to like pivot and do like comedy content, people are gonna be like, what? Like I came here to your page to see you do like makeup, not funny skits.
Yeah, that's like an audience thing for sure. Some people get lucky though.
Yeah.
Some people get really
Some people
lucky,
do it all.
and then no matter what they do, the audience likes them, right? So
Yeah.
you even though you pivoted to like an anime niche, a lot of people like it, and a lot of people also hate it too. But it doesn't matter. You're still getting the views. You're still getting like the traction that you need, so that they can support your other stuff. I feel like, but then you kind of transition it in a way where like it's still kind of related to your content because it's like dating stuff, right? But then now it's just like straight up dubbed voices, and you're even getting work from that too, which is crazy. So
yeah.
that's kind of like, I feel like that's like the secret to success is like just make whatever makes sense for you, and like when it sticks, just like run with it.
Yeah.
you know?
High key. I think it's like you also have to have a love for the game. I was gonna say that. Like you have to genuinely love what you do.
Yeah, let's talk about the hustle. So, okay, I know earlier this year, I think we talked about like how can we, what was it, start a YouTube channel, or what would, like we were talking about some strategies about social media in general, like how can we be consistent? Like what's like your plan right now? Like what's your strategy for your stuff?
Well, for me, honestly, when I was like really like focused on it, I came back from like I would call like a work trip, and then I've been kind of like the holidays have been coming up, so I've been a little bit more out of it. But basically, when I was like really working, I would have like a set day. Like I would always film on Tuesdays because that's when one of my friends would like be off from work, and then all of us would gather at his place and we would film together. And then I would have at least like 1 to 2 quality videos that I would post per week. I feel
What's
like
quality though?
quality is like if I watch it and it makes me laugh like several times, or I could like watch it endlessly, I feel like it's good. Like I feel confident about posting that video. Like, you know, that's quality to me. If I see a video, I'm like, you know, this is good. Not my best work, but it's still good. You know, I like post it and see how it does. Sometimes I feel about that about some videos, but then they end up doing really well. But like quality is like, you know.
Quality is just to your eyes.
Yes.
The beholder.
Yeah.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's got to be funny to you at least. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good guideline. Have you ever made anything where you're just like, man, this sucks, but I'm gonna post it?
Yeah, I have.
And then,
so many times.
And then where you're like, okay, this is actually, it doesn't suck. According to the internet, it doesn't suck. Okay.
Yeah, like so many times.
That's so crazy. That's how subjective like this type of work is. I feel like I think that's also why it's hard. Because if you're a creative and you're only basing it off of what you like how do you know if it's gonna hit? And at that point, it's kind of like now it's just the numbers game. You just got to make something, right? And I feel like the key is to be consistent, because then you just pretty much just kept that every Tuesday, film stuff with friends every week, and then something's gonna hit, and then you just go off from there, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the strategy for now. But now that you're actually getting work from your TikTok, because it has to lead somewhere, right? Because like you can gain all these followers, but then now what?
Yeah.
You're just gonna be stuck making content forever, right? So I feel like it has to go somewhere. So do you feel like now that you have a potential avenue for like voice acting or just acting maybe in general, do you feel like it's gonna change the way you view your TikTok, you think?
Change the way I view my TikTok?
Yeah, like how you approach making content now versus before you were just making stuff just to make it.
Yeah. I think earlier on when I just started, I was just pumping stuff out because I was like, this is funny. Like I want to post it on the internet. But now it's definitely been more of like, all right, how can I monetize this? Like what kind of, sometimes I think about like, okay, what kind of brands would reach out to me? Like if I were to do this type of content, and you know, what kind of work is going to come my way. And a lot of opportunities have actually like come to me like this year, and I'm actually really like appreciative of it.
Nice.
I never thought it would happen. Like I actually have to thank you and David, because both of you guys were like, you guys need to post. Like,
David's right over there. He's behind the camera.
Shout out, because you guys told me to like just post on Instagram, like to just do it. And like I had never posted up until this year. And it just blew up. Yeah. Like my reels and stuff, I started posting it this year because earlier this year, I came to visit, right? I wanted to see your whole office space and everything. You know, you wanted to start this pod. And I was like, all right, let me check it out. And I came to you guys and I was like, guys, like I've been thinking about posting on Instagram. I'm a little shy though. I don't know if I should do it. And you guys were like, just do it. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
Did the audience, like, because I remember you talked about like how the audience would receive it, and you're like, oh man, I don't know, Instagram's kind of mean or whatever. So did it actually turn out that way, where like, oh, they're actually nice or they're actually mean? Like,
oh, okay, half actually. No, I was kind of spot on. Where like, but I didn't expect so many people to actually like me. It was a little bit similar to like TikTok comments, but people were like a little bit nicer on like Instagram, I'd say.
Interesting, because I think it would be the other way around. Because like
some people are mean though. Some people are mean.
Dang, yeah. I think no matter what platform you're on, if your shit goes viral, there's gonna be haters, there's gonna be lovers, there's gonna be all types of people. So I think that kind of goes back to earlier where I was like, the strategy is to be consistent, but also now you have to add on top of that, I feel like, don't care about what people think, because at the same time, like, because you don't care. I mean, you do care about what you think, but sometimes that doesn't matter. So if you care about what other people think, does that matter or doesn't, you know? I
think the best advice both of you guys gave me like earlier this year was like, don't care how other people perceive you. I think what matters most is like how you perceive yourself, and like what, you know, as long as you know yourself, you know, inside and out, and you're confident in your own abilities, that's like the best thing. Because no one's going to be your biggest supporter except for yourself, right?
Yeah, and some of our friends.
And your friends,
we'll
of
support
course. You can't forget your friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you're the one doing all this work, you know? People don't know what the effort, the time it takes to like put a whole production on and like film. I know it's like TikTok, but like still there's like a lot of work that goes into it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like your process because I've been there when you would like write skits on your phone.
Yeah.
You would write parts out like, hey, you say this, I say this, and then you would write the concepts out. It's so simple, but that's all you really have to do. You just got to write stuff down, right? Like, I feel like that's such a fun process too. Do you do that often? Like you always writing your stuff down?
All the time, almost every day. I always, after I shower, especially because I have shower thoughts.
Okay.
You know, like I feel like your mind is like clear. Like you can only like really focus on like you're present. I feel like when you're most present, well, when I'm most present in my life is when I'm showering.
That's so funny. That's true. Dude, I now that I think about it, because I take cold showers. This is like a completely different topic, but when I take cold showers, it like zaps me back into myself, and I'm like, oh fuck, it's cold. Like, and then I just immediately I'm like, I'm here. Like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of actually a really good point. Maybe that's why people have shower thoughts.
No, they're
because they're
great.
just like, this is the time where you have nothing else to think about
Yeah.
but just be there and clean yourself.
Yeah.
That's probably such a pro tip is like only think of creative stuff when you're showering. Like I think that's a pretty valid place to kind of brainstorm. Like what other place I feel like you could do? Maybe like going out or what?
Oh, when I drive, actually. So what I'll do is I will never text and drive, but what I'll do is if I have an idea, right, I'll go to my notes and I'll do text to speech and I'll literally just speak aloud like my thing. And then when I have time, I'll like go back to that draft and I'll like clean it up. That's what I like to do.
I had something similar happen to me too. When I drive and I'm listening to music,
Mm-hmm.
or if I'm like listening to like something that inspires me, I'll automatically start thinking of music that I would make, and that happens all the time when I drive. Like I'm always thinking about like melodies and making music. 1 second,
You're good.
my throat's dry, but this is a really good conversation. I hope everyone's enjoying this because I'm enjoying this.
I'll yap about my creative process. So guys, this is how I make my videos, guys. So I sometimes I'll be watching like a TikTok, right? And I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. Like, let me see how I would do it. Like, this is my take on it. And then I'll go into my notes app and I'll write about it. Or sometimes I'll literally just be like after a shower, like I said, like I'm like, oh, okay, this was a really good idea. Let me write it down. I always write down my ideas right away because I'll forget it. Like if you think of something, do it right away.
Dang.
Don't let it like marinate for too long.
Don't let your short-term memory get the best of you, okay?
Yeah.
Because that happens all the time. Like
Yeah.
it's like a dream. Like
Yeah.
you wake up and then 5 minutes later, like, oh, what was that about? Like, whoa.
You know, I actually keep a dream journal.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you
yeah.
think, why? Why do you do it?
Oh, okay. Well, I thought of it as like a way to like stave off like nightmares and stuff. Sometimes I would have recurring nightmares, but then when I would wake up and I would like write it down, like the nightmare wouldn't come back. Or if I just had like a weird ass dream and I wanted to like kind of remember it, like I'll write it down. And then like months after, I'll like go back to the dream journal and I'll like look at it. I'm like, oh my god! And I kind of recall the dream itself too, like and kind of like
Whoa.
like reimagine it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I saw in that dream. Like I'll write down as many details as I can, like what happened to me, start to finish, and then when I wake up.
That's crazy because it's kind of like staving off a nightmare because you brought it into the foreground, because usually it's in your subconscious, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I think the fact that you internalized it and you brought it to like the front of your brain and you're conscious of it, maybe that's what allows you to process it. Maybe that's why it doesn't come back. Because I've actually thought about that too. Like I've had like pretty scary dreams, but as soon as I have that and I think about it, if I write it down or whatever, you're right. I don't think I ever have that same reoccurring dream again.
Because if
But
you
yeah.
like get scared of it, right, and you don't want to think about it, you push it back into your subconscious, and then it's
True.
only gonna come back.
True. Whoa, that's like some deep stuff. I never thought about it like that, but it's kind of scary. Like, whoa, there's like definitely stuff in the back of your head, not literally in the back of your head, but like in your subconscious, that's just there waiting to come out, right? I feel like as a creative, that's something that we can be aware of because maybe that's kind of like the source of our like creativity.
I also journal. Like I have a lot of thoughts that flow throughout my like head throughout the day, and I feel like if I don't physically get it out, like it's just gonna kind of keep piling up, and it's gonna kind of like wear me down because I'm only gonna keep like thinking about it. But once I like write it down, it's like okay, like it's out, like I did something with it, like we're done. On to the next thought.
That's an interesting thing because I believe that all ideas are meaningless. All ideas are pointless, meaningless. They don't exist in the real world because they only exist in your head until you write it down. So I think that's what makes writing it down so important. So as a creative, I purposely, even though if it's just like a random idea, if it stays in my head, it's not going anywhere. Like nothing's gonna happen. You're not gonna manifest it into whatever this world is, right? So as soon as you write it down or you record it or whatever, now it's a thing.
Yeah.
You know. So for example, when I started putting this set together, it wasn't a thing until I started like literally writing down like what colors do I want, what's the theme gonna be, and once I started writing it down, I saw it in front of me, and now you have something tangible to kind of reference, right? So that's kind of what makes ideas like so special, but also insignificant at the same time. Like an idea could spark something so crazy, and you could like totally snowball it into like a huge project, or it can just die out.
Yeah.
Like you never know, right? But to solidify it, you have to start making it tangible. You have to start like getting a piece of paper, like just do like what is it called? Like a sketch of it at least. Like sketch it out. It doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's there for you to kind of look back, and then you could work on it over time, right? So do you do anything else other than making skits, making content? Because I know you have some hobbies. Let's talk about your hobbies.
Oh, my hobbies?
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. I just wanted to add one more thing to what you said. I feel like when I was like worrying about like posting and whatnot, I feel like there's no perfect time. I hear a lot of like people like come to me and ask me for advice, right? And how you're saying like if you have an idea, you should take action. There's no better time than the present. I feel like a lot of people are always like, oh no, like I need to wait until XYZ and then I can do it. But it's like, well, once you get to that point, like why didn't you like start? Like that whole time that you waited to get to the perfect moment is time you could have spent like, you know, making a product or like making a post, something like that.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
I get why people do it, but it's like they probably want to plan ahead. They want to like tell the story their own way, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes life doesn't go that way, you know.
That's right. All right. Back on what you asked me though, hobbies.
Hobbies. Let's go hobbies.
I like to cook. I like to bake. I like to crochet. I've been cooking since so I'm an only child, and my mom would work the night shift. My dad would work the day shift, and that left me in charge of myself sometimes. But they would always cook for me. I never went hungry at all. They always took very good care of me. But I grew up very
Poor?
No. You thought
No.
no. We grew up all right, but I was a very picky eater because my parents they spoiled
picky only child.
they spoiled the fuck out of me. But I'm picky with taste. I'm not picky with like food itself. I can eat anything and everything as long as it tastes good.
A boiled egg.
Yeah, I'll eat it. It has to taste good though.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
like I have to season it. Like, I'm not just gonna eat
Seasoned
it. Like,
boiled. Okay.
come on now.
So what? Okay, why cooking?
Why
like
cooking?
what brought you the joy of cooking? Is it because your parents cooked for you and you were like, I need to keep doing this for my next family or whatever?
Oh no.
Or
It's
just for yourself?
For myself, because I love. Okay, so it's more so about like love language. Like my parents, like growing up, they never really said, "I love you." I think they did.
They don't say it with their mouth. They say it with their food.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like my mom would never like ever say I'm sorry. She would just bring me like a plate of fruit and be like, "Here you go." Or my dad would be like, "Hey, like I made your favorite dish. Here you go." Or
That's
like
so sick.
Yeah. Or like no, I like it because it's like it shows me that like they care and they like pay attention. We're working like now. My parents say I love you and they give me hugs and whatnot. But like I had to be the one that initiate that. Like in high school I started saying like I love you. I started hugging my parents more, you know, because I grew older and I was like, you know, I gotta do it. I gotta be the change. But anyways, my dad remembers what I like. He knows I love strawberries, so like when he sees that they're in season, he'll buy me like the juiciest, sweetest strawberries ever. Or like he knows that my favorite fruit is also lychee, and he knows that I like I'm a little princess and I don't I don't like getting my fingers dirty, so he'll peel my fruit for me.
Dude, I feel that. Oh my god, yeah. As a kid, I used to not like touching food with my hands that much because it's like it gets gross.
Yeah, it's
I
sticky.
think when you get older, yeah, it doesn't matter. Like even actually now when I eat with my hands, like I always have like napkins and like some water just to clean it right after.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you okay.
Oh yeah, but cooking, well, a lot of dishes that my parents make are so good. I love my parents cooking. Like you've had my mom's banseo before.
yeah, the banseo was fire.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
bomb.
So I was like, I need to show them some love in return. I wanted to be able to cook for them, not only for myself, but like for the people I care about as well. Like I love cooking for my friends.
Doesn't your dad like cook seafood really really good?
So good.
You gotta explain
Oh my
like
God.
what
Okay.
is that about?
So my dad is from Nha Trang, and that's a beach/fishing village in Vietnam, right? So he grew up like just around seafood all the time. Like my grandma has cooked all the seafood. Like it's so funny because like one of the videos I made was like POV, you can't take your Vietnamese parents like to an aquarium specifically.
Because they're gonna eat it.
Yeah. Because my dad, I remember growing up, we'd go to SeaWorld, right? And he'd be like, "Oh, I've had that fish before. That one's really good." Like it was based on a real experience. And this girl was like, this is not okay. Like you're making Vietnamese people look bad. I was like, no, like this is based off my experience with my dad. Like personally,
Yeah.
like every time we'd go to like SeaWorld, he'd be like, "Yeah, I've eaten that fish.
That's hilarious.
This tastes good. This
Has
way."
he ever eaten a whale?
No. We had shark though.
Dang.
Yeah.
When it was still legal? No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. And we had swordfish. We've had stingrays. We've had gooey duck.
Okay, tastiest seafood animal go that you've had.
Ooh, Chilean sea bass and
Damn, sea
gooey
bass
duck.
is always up there, huh?
Yeah, it's
I don't
good.
know what the appeal is because I've had it, but maybe I just haven't had it like prepared properly. Because my mom makes it all the time, and I always like pass.
Oh, because it's really tan. It's kind of like smelly if you don't prepare it. My dad says like
Yeah.
near like the belly, it kind of like smells like a little bit. So we have to add like a lot of aromatics to it.
Like, how do you make it not smell? Do you like marinate it in like alcohol or something?
You can do mirin or sake. My dad personally, I think he makes like we do it with garlic and like miso, and he adds a little bit of sesame oil to like kind of take the smell away.
Damn, that sounds so good right
and
now. I'm
adds
hungry.
like chives, green onion. Yo, we'll go eat after.
Yeah, no. So, dang, sea bass, huh? Because I'm more of like salmon, yellowtail. I like the collar.
Yeah.
I like eating like very Japanese like rice, fish and rice.
yeah.
Like that's my shit. Like,
Ken's a simple guy.
yeah, I'm a simple guy. Rice, miso soup, little fish collar, and that's it.
Yeah.
But has he ever made anything like Japanese style, you think? Or the miso is kind of Japanese, right?
Yeah, like we had abalone for my mom's birthday. Like it was like miso braised abalone. It was really good.
I never had braised abalone. I feel like, man, there's so much variety in seafood that it's kind of hard to pick one thing that you really like. Because I also really like shrimp too.
Yeah.
Like shrimp is like, has he ever made any like crazy shrimp dishes that you were like, oh man, I cannot eat at boiling crab anymore?
Well, actually, yeah, but it was really simple. It's just like I think he just grilled it. That was it.
Dang,
it's super simple. That's
dude.
it. It's super good.
Do you think it's probably because like you have to get it fresh, huh? Like, or
Yeah,
you
he gets
have
it
to
fresh.
get the
Yeah.
source? Like
Yeah.
if that's good, nothing else matters, right?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
you know how in Ratatouille, like Anton Ego's like dish is like ratatouille because his mom made it, right? Mine would be canh chua with catfish.
Dang. What kind of catfish? Is it like the standard catfish? Because I know that there's different fish that they use.
Oh, yeah.
Is it gab bông lao? Is that
Oh,
the
they
same
use like
thing?
a bunch of fish, but personally, my family uses catfish. Like we'll go
Okay.
to like the market the day of that we want the dish.
Still alive?
Yeah. We'll be like, oh yeah, we want that one. They'll like beat the fish and then
How
they'll
big
take
is
out.
it? Is it like the big ones or is it
Oh my
like
God.
just like a medium size?
No, it's like 2 pounds. It's like this big.
that's tiny.
Yeah, my dad fillets it. Like I grew up watching my dad fillet fish, so that doesn't psych me out. But like seeing like human gore, I can't do. But like fish and whatnot, I'm chill with it.
Yeah, I'm chill with it too. I feel like because fish, they don't have like a human face, so you don't like feel like it's that bad.
Oh my God.
You know?
I have this like distinct core memory where my dad, like when he would like, you know, we get the catfish fresh, right? He would like sprinkle salt on it. He's like, look, the muscles are moving. And then the catfish would be like this.
Shoot.
And then he would be laughing at it. I'm like, Dad, this is a little morbid, but I'm like a little kid. I'm like, oh, that's so cool, Dad. Like I looked up to my dad. I still look up to him like a lot, but I thought it was super cool.
Man, that's such a good dish though, canh chua. Because my mom makes that too, and I feel like everyone makes it so different.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
is yours like more on the sour side, or is it more on the sweet and sour side?
It has to be balanced. Every time my mom
But
makes
what
it.
is it?
Okay,
See,
a
that's the
little bit sweeter. A little bit, just a little bit. Like I would say like 55% sweet. You know,
Whoa, 55,
45%
see?
sour. You know, like
Okay,
that like
okay.
type of scale. And my mom always has to like let me like taste it first before we like serve it up because she's like it has to be to your taste. Also, her the way I like it is with pineapple.
Okay, yeah. Pineapple
she
is
always
like a
has pineapple.
standard, I feel like.
Yeah.
So what ratio I would like is like 1/3 sweetness, 1/3 sour, the other third really savory, salty, whatever.
okay,
Like
okay.
I like those three in a balance. Because sometimes when I eat some ganjuo, it's like too sweet and I could barely taste the sour. I don't like it.
Oh, I thought you were meaning in just like in terms of like sweet versus sour. Of course, it has to be savory too.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like if it's too much one way, it's not good anymore. But yeah, so you make yours like pretty balanced.
Yeah,
Dang.
relatively balanced. Yeah.
So what other dishes can you make? So you can make Vietnamese food, obviously. You're like, what other like? Let's go out of
Oh
the
my
Vietnamese.
god, I loved making Korean and Italian and Japanese food. I feel like those are like my top 3 cuisines.
So pasta, noodles.
Oh my god, I love. Oh my god, this year I started making fresh pasta.
Let's go. Let's
Like-
talk
like
about
by
noodles.
hand.
We're gonna talk about noodles for the rest of the podcast. Let's go.
You know what's so funny though is my name is Aimee. It's spelled Aimee, and I
Weird.
No, I love the name because my mom gave it to me. She specifically chose it out of a book, and she wanted, a name with good meanings to it. It means love and friendship, and I feel like I'm very true to my name. First of all,
Is it French?
it's French,
Okay.
because
Wow.
je t'aime means I love you, and it's the Aime. But my mom and my dad, and actually my whole family, really, Vietnamese people give you a nickname based on what your like English name is. I feel like because mine is May, which
May.
means noodles. It
That's
means
true.
noodles in Vietnamese, and my favorite food is noodles, like any
Dude.
kind of noodles.
You're the noodle girl. Nice. You gotta make noodle content eventually. Like, hey, this is me making fresh noodles. My name is Amy.
No, I want to. I feel like I've always wanted to do I want to branch out and do like cooking content too. But my thing is a little bit like when I start cooking, I get really invested, and all I can do is I'm a perfectionist, so I have to focus on it. But
no, that's cool.
But I will.
You could do it.
I promise.
I highly believe in you, like, because you already pivoted from one thing to another.
Yeah.
Now the way you got to transition it is you got to do the dubbed voice. It's gotta be.
yeah.
It's gotta be like Ash Ketchum cooks.
One of my ideas is POV Deku cooks for you. So I was gonna get like a costume and do like the whole like Deku voice and be like, "All right, guys, today we're gonna be making onigiri."
Whoa.
Something like that, and like the whole video has to be me like showing you how to cook, but in the voice. So I was gonna pivot that way.
Are you gonna do it like Food Wars style, where you do a little twist, where you're like, instead of just the basic recipe, like you just go, oh, but I'm gonna add a little bit of this, and then that just makes it way better.
That's kind of funny. I didn't think of that, but
Food Wars?
I might
Yeah,
do
see,
that
this
now,
is the process. You're witnessing the process happen right before your eyes. So, yeah, I think that would be a good transition. And I think it would do well because I feel like there's a lot of like cooking anime niche. Because you ever watch those shows where like the cooking is just like, it looks so good. So I think that would be like the perfect thing to do for sure. What was like, okay, now that we're talking about anime again, I feel like what was like the anime that made you really like want to like get into anime?
Oh.
Because then you are completely into it, but it had to start somewhere, right?
Chat. I fear it may have been Shugokara.
What is that?
It's like this little anime for girls. I was like really young when I watched it. I want to say like maybe 5th grade or something.
Wait, what is it even about?
about-
And
hold on.
where did you watch it?
I watched it on like just like one of those like random websites or something, or maybe Crunchyroll, I forget. But it's this girl with like pink hair, and then they have these little like Kara, which is like, these little like characters. Like you can imagine them like they're little fairies, right? And she can transform with them. Like it's
Wait,
like this
what?
transformation.
Hold on.
Like,
So
when-
it's like
dude,
magical girl,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that genre,
yeah.
like not Sailor Moon, but like fairy girl magic, whatever. Okay.
It's so funny whenever you try to like describe an anime to someone, it sounds so convoluted. It's like
because it is.
Yeah.
'Cause it is.
It's-
But when you watch it, you just know.
Yeah,
like,
you
all right,
get it.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
it. That's
Like,
cool.
Like how would you describe like One Piece? Like a bunch of pirates.
It's just pirates.
Yeah, like,
it's
bunch of
pirates with powers, and this one pirate is made out of rubber. That's basically the whole plot. But
Yeah, and
he's
he-
just trying to find the ultimate treasure, the One Piece.
Yeah.
That's his hat right there.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
it's so funny when you describe like an anime. It's like, oh yeah, but also the guy, he can't swim. Like he's gonna drown.
Yeah, there's a lot of rules. I feel like with anime, the world building is insane. I
is,
think
it
that's
is.
kind of why I latched onto it is because there's so much variety in the creativity, in the stories. Actually, not so much in the stories. I feel like stories are always going to be like the same story. It's like this guy's trying to achieve this goal, or like these two people are gonna fall in love, or like there's always the same tropes, but the way anime does it is like they just have some twist. It's always like some twist to it, right? So from there, that kind of started you on your journey. But then what were the animes that you consistently watched like after that, where you're like, damn, this is a good one, this is a good one, and then this is a good one, and then to the point where like you kind of know all the animes?
It's been a blur. It's been so long. I feel like I just jumped from like anime to anime. But I feel like
okay, let's do this. What's the most recent one that you watched where you're like, okay, this is like wild?
dun dun dun. This is the one you recommended me, and I was like, oh my god, what is this? But it's really good. Like I like it.
Yeah, the concept it's not new. It's like paranormal, ghosts, aliens. Like we've all heard it before, but then the way they do it is like, oh, it's an interesting take on it.
I think it's because the characters have more depth to them. Usually, like the girl characters are very like submissive, like oh my god, I can't do anything. But she's like very bratty, like outspoken. It's like oh my god, who do you think you are? Like, you know. And the guy's like a little bit more like scared, you know, a little bit more submissive. But then he can also be like a little bit more tough when
he's the protector. You know, every
Yeah.
time he hears, okay, I don't want to spoil anything, but I do know that like. Yeah, they like each other, obviously. But the way they tiptoe around like, oh man, do they
so
like
cute.
me? Are we
Yeah.
friends? Or are we not friends?
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
think that dynamic is interesting because you don't really know like what's going to happen if they ever become a thing, unless you've like read the manga. But then, yeah, they have that as kind of like the side. I say that's more like a side story.
Yeah.
The main story is them like fighting the crazy aliens or
Yeah.
fighting the bosses, like the demons. Are they even demons? They're like
the ghosts, spirits,
or
like yeah,
whatever.
but like that teamwork, you know,
Uh-huh.
like I like that interaction rather than like sometimes when I watch like romance animes, like the girl's just like watching him from afar. It's like, oh my god, when will he notice me? And it's like, girl, like stand the fuck up, like come on.
Oh, they do have those. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I think that's kind of where anime is headed to. They're always going to take the tropes that you recognize and then just like flip it.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I like the switch up because I'm getting like tired of like romance animes.
Yeah,
where, like,
you know what else did that? Jujutsu Kaisen, JJK.
Yeah.
They did that with Nobara. She's like kind of like a tough girl too,
I love
but she's
that,
also
yeah.
likes to be like a girly girl at the same time.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like,
the duality of women.
here's a trend I noticed too. This is what 2024. A lot of girl protagonists have short hair now. You think there's a reason why? Yeah.
Maybe actually I didn't
Because
notice
it
that
used to
until
be
you
a
mentioned
thing,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Shouldn't it be like, or it used to be like, oh, an attractive girl would have a lot of long hair, whatever. Now it's like short hair.
Yeah.
I think that's like the hair trend in anime right now. I don't know if that's a real thing.
I can kind of see that. I don't know. Maybe it's like to make them like stand out in one way or another. The hair is always to like let you know like that's like the main character, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they definitely changed a lot of the style. I feel like.
Maybe like it's the attributes they want to give them is a little bit more like toughness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know, but I like where it's going. I like where it's headed. It definitely inspires me a lot, as you can tell. Like there's a lot of influences from anime for sure, and I feel like that definitely changed the way how I perceive creativity because it made me kind of see things like, oh, you don't always have to stick to the same thing that everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Just do the same thing, but change it a little. You know,
Do it your way.
Yeah,
You know, do it how
yeah.
you want to do it. I've been working with a lot of newer creators, you know, trying to help them like figure out what they want to do. And
Tyler's
you
one
know,
of
their
them.
niche. Oh, that's true. He's not a new creator. He's more so like, I guess, just new to TikTok. You know what I mean? So it's helping people is like I love helping people like kind of figure out like what they want to do.
Nice.
You know, figure out
I
their
like
niche.
that. I like the advice that you give to people because you're coming from a place where like this is my experience, this is what I'm going through, and I think this would work for you, even though you're not where you want to be, right? Because there's always that struggle for a creative is like,
Yeah.
I'm not where I want to be, so I have to keep creating to get
Yeah.
to where I want to be eventually. But even when you get there, you're still feeling like, oh, there's more room to grow, right?
Always
So
is.
that's why I think on the topic of advice, like I don't mind giving advice, and I don't mind receiving advice from someone younger than me too, because you know how like age kind of plays a role in experience, but I actually don't think it matters that much. Like if someone's younger or older than you, they might have a completely different perspective.
Yeah.
So I think all advice is valid depending on how you take it.
Yeah, it's always like an
Yeah.
ego thing. It's like, oh, you're
Yeah.
younger than me. Like, what could you know? It's like, no. Set your ego and pride aside. Like, listen.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon, but before we wrap it up, I want to do something different. Okay, so there's gonna be another guest coming on to here. You're not gonna know who it is, but what advice would you give this next creative as a creative yourself? Like or just anything you want to say to the next person? What do you want to pass on to them?
Be your most authentic self.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
I think
solid.
this is the best thing I could say. Like, I feel like people are always trying to. They're worried about how they're being perceived by others. That mainly I was, like this year, and until I like really let go of like that fear and like that thought, I wasn't able to like grow as a creator. I feel like and when I was like fully able to be like, I don't care what other people think about me. Not really, at least. Like at the end of the day, I care mainly what I think about myself. That's when I was like really able to like lean into like what I wanted to do and like grow as a creator.
I see. All right, you hear that? Next guest, be yourself. Don't be acting a fool, and be present, okay? That's the theme. This is secretly a spiritual podcast. Haha, I fooled you. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. Where can we follow you one more time? And is there anything else you want to say before we go?
Aww.
Follow her on TikTok.
My is @mochitoki for all platforms. There's like underscores for like some of them, but @mochitoki on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And thanks for having me, Ken. I really appreciate you having me on your podcast and being your first guest, actually. Arigato.
Arigato, senpai. All right,
Arigato,
later,
senpai.
guys.
Mata ne, minasan.
Woo!